Hey, this is Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday Mojo. Hope you had a great weekend. Well, if you think back a few Mojos, you might recognize and think, oh, I bet he's talking about Ken Buckner today because Dr. Pepper, this was his T-shirt. Anyway, there's been some interesting things happening recently. You've probably heard about people who have this recurring um, dream. They might call it a nightmare, where they wake up in the middle of the night panicked because they were late for their final, or they couldn't remember their locker combination. And it's usually a sign of just kind of, you're a little worried about things going on in life. You're just not real comfortable with what's going on. Maybe there's some stress in your life that you're not dealing with. And so you have this thing that shows up in your unconscious called sleep, and it wakes you up. Now, I've never really had that dream, never had that nightmare, but I have had something happen recently since my dad passed away. 4 times I've woken up in the middle of the night absolutely panicked that I needed to get the papers out because I was a paper boy. I delivered the Indianapolis Star, had to have them out by 6 o'clock on a weekday before I went to school. My dad always made sure I got it done, and on Saturdays he made sure, on Sundays he helped me. And so I've had 4 times where I've woken up going, oh, I got to get the papers out. Where are they? Where are they? I'm going, oh, wait a minute. I'm 60 years old. I'm not a paper boy anymore, you know? And I was telling that to my brother Dan, and Dan said, it's almost as if when Dad was in the world, you knew things were good. And now that your conscience knows he's not there, you don't sleep as well. And that got me thinking, ah, knowing that Christ Jesus loves me, knowing that he gave his life for me, knowing and believing that he is absolutely who he said he was, God, the Son of God, come to rescue me, is a conscious awareness, and it's in my subconscious, and it allows me to sleep. It allows me to have peace. He will keep in perfect peace him whose mind is set on him. And it's so true. And I think that the opposite of that is true as well. If you're not convinced, if you don't think he is who he said he was, if you don't know and don't believe that he came to love you and die for you, I think that there might be a lack of peace and a lack of the ability to do this life well. So I am so thankful for my mom and dad. I'm standing in front of a piece of furniture that was theirs, that they took me to church, that they introduced me to faith, that they introduced me to Jesus, that they introduced me to a life knowing peace, because there is a God who sent his Son to love me. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this Monday. Hope you have a great week.